it makes me realize those jokes. Are you listening to me? You're like, yeah. Are you listening to me? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the power of asking that question, it's not just the physical you being there, but are you being fully attentive?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe now this comes to something probably we've not learned how to do properly, but we've always been told that we need to listen. And I think there's a part that talks in your material about mindful listening. What does that mean?
So mindfulness goes back to the mindfulness that I had mentioned to earlier. So there are certain exercises that we do, particularly those of us who are in this space of emotional intelligence, which is to be able to be present the moment, to develop the empathy that we're talking about, and exercises. So for example, there's this mindful listening. Okay, I won't necessarily get into the exercises because those are more practical. But for example, focusing your attention on what somebody is saying. And it happens to the best of us. Somebody's talking to you and your mind is simply wandering. That person is frankly boring. Or it wanders off into, thinking about the response rather than actually listening to them. This mindfulness is about bringing your mind back to the present. Actually listen to your customer or to your partner or to your child when they're talking to you. You've got to practice shutting out everything and simply bringing yourself back into the present. This is what we call mindful listening. And, that obviously comes with some of the things. People know when you're listening because you're nodding, you're asking the right questions, you're making certain facial expressions, that sort of thing.
Yes.
And then just be aware that your mind will wander. That's just the way the mind works. And just bringing it back into the present.
Wow, this is a lot to digest. Now I see why you have to have a session where, apart just from the information, you have to give people activities to be able to incorporate all these teachings because it's not a common practice. Where can people find you so they can reach out to you if they need to find out more about this information?
As much as I am practicing my boundaries, I am available on certain social media profiles, the most prominent I think of which is on LinkedIn.
Yes.
So I'll give my name. If you type my name in Google or LinkedIn or on Twitter, that's prominently where you can find me.
Okay.
And that's Derek, that's Derek. Last name is Bbanga, that's Bbanga. So if you type that name in on LinkedIn or on Twitter, then that's the easiest way of getting in touch with me. And I'm happy to be able to engage with you, to talk a little bit more about particularly how we can enhance our psychological well-being during these trying times.
All right. Thank you very much for that. And on a lighter note, the name Bbanga already has that, bang to it. Do you need to add an extra B for emphasis?
I think 2 Bs are more than enough. You can imagine growing up, that name was a source of, shall we say, amusement for a lot of my contemporaries as I was growing up. Yes. It's an unusual spelling, but I have grown to love and embrace it.
Yes, it's an unusual name. In fact, I don't think I've come across a Kenyan name that has double letters like that at the beginning. Is that a Kenyan name?
Well, nothing gets by you, Andrew. You're as sharp as a tack. But you're right. I mean, that is not, it's not a Kenyan name. I will leave it to your listeners to do a little research and homework where that name comes from.
Okay. So for now, I can assume that you're a appointee, that you're half Kenyan, half something else.
Is that the term the cool kids are using? Yes.
I think
you can say that. Yeah.
I think that's my phrase for anyone who comes from 2 different backgrounds.
Right. Although, sorry to bring this to something that, again, maybe a little bit more. Somebody was asked that question, where are you from? And today he said, my response is, I am from Earth. We're all global citizens going to this. Yes. Where are you from? I'm from Earth.
Well,
yes, yeah.
Well, that's very true. But you see, what I've come to appreciate about being human is this different sounds, flavors, environment. For me, it's like being in a bakery. It's easy to say that, pastries are sweet. but it's the way the pastry smells, sweet texture. I never knew combinations like that could happen. So I'm appreciating your different and unique flavor because there's no other flavor like you.
Well, you are too kind. That I will take that as a compliment. Thank you.